Everybody, welcome to Big Fish, Little Fish on a Friday. And Craig Thompson, the Blue Army is back. They had a starter at Addington last Sunday. They turn up en masse for Addington Friday night. The question is, the one the punters want to know, are they going to dominate as they did pre-lockdown, or have you seen a few things at the trials and workouts that make you doubt? Fresh up, that'll be the case.
No, I'm not doubting their fitness, Michael. I'm more doubting there's a couple of races that maybe you'd want to be a little bit careful into. I'm referring to the likes of Italian Lad, who's a 2,000 metre stand starting from the outside of the second row. Now, Michael, we've talked about 2,000 metre stand races. You cannot get back in the field, and as good as you are, you may be 5 lengths better than them and get round and win these races and dominate. So for a horse like him, I wouldn't be taking anything ridiculous. Can he win it? Absolutely. Is he the best horse there? Yes, he is, but he's going to a standing start in a very difficult race.
Okay, for those of you watching this who don't follow harness racing that closely, obviously the All-Stars, Mark Purd and Natalie Rasmussen, haven't raced many horses since lockdown, but they have a ginormous team of horses who are going to win races, and we start seeing that roll out. The first on the card today is a trot first race tonight. So 11 races, by the way. First race goes at 1 minute to 5. In that first race, trotting race, Greg, not a bad trotting field, okay trotters, I suppose you would say, horses who are going to win races. But they've got 4 2-year-olds in the race. 2-year-olds so far this post-lockdown have been able to beat the older horses. Is there one of the 4 you favour more than the other 3?
On what I've seen, Michael, and I've only seen a couple of these have a couple of quiet workouts and trials, I thought Paramount Princess was quite a nice type. Mark drives Barrier 1, and he did drive at the trial, so it's a horse that he's familiarised himself with and is quite happy to stick with, and he could have quite easily picked up the drive on any of the other 3 in the race as well. So I quite like Paramount Princess, the filly by Muscle Hill, and it is a good family. It's a family that chucked out a lot of winners. So thought she's looked quite good, but gee, they got 4 in there. Mark's got also Want to Play With Me, who's got race day form, Michael, which is probably, as you know, better than trial form. So inside 2 for me in the 2-year-old trial.
If you're looking for the absolute inside track from the All-Stars, there'll be a story on this website, hrnz.co.nz. So there'll be a print story giving Mark's thoughts on those. A little bit later on, we see a maiden race. Again, normal maiden race. Most trainers think they can probably win. The All-Stars are rocking up with 4 2-year-olds, Craig. They can't find somewhere else to race them, so 4 2-year-olds. You just know one of them's going to win. The question is which one.
Tricky, isn't it, Michael? Because you look at the field and you think, well, geez, Delightful Dude's run second in the kindergarten stakes, and I reckon he won't start favourite of their 4 tomorrow because Mark's on Better Call Me, and it's got Barrier 1. Nothing against Michaela Lewis, but she's not known as a big race day driver. And with the advantage of having the inside draw with Better Call Me, I thought was very good on debut behind First Class. I'd have to lean that way, Michael. But as you say, it's an interesting race, isn't it? You've got Better Twist here. That's a lovely filly and never hooked out of her trial. And of course, out of Twist and Twirl, the Brecken Farms team owned this one. Really liked her trial the other day, and Tim drives there. So very tricky race. I think what you've got to do is analyse what the market suggests to you when the bookmakers put it up. I think they'll be starting the inside one, the favourite of the 3, Michael, because it's got the better draw.
Other thing too is, of course, the All-Stars are very good. They've got their own website run by Dave McCarthy. So you can go look at their website, and I think Mark or Nat will give you a rundown. Sometimes they get it wrong. They've got it wrong plenty of times in the past, but they'll give you a rundown on what they think might happen. And that's a big bonus, basically information straight from the horse's mouth. You mentioned Italian Lad. Now, clearly he's the best horse in race 5. He's off the Unruly over 2,000 metres. I hate all of that. Well, he should just win. So it comes down to price. What do you want him to take there? $1.80?
I couldn't take that, Michael. I've just seen so many good horses that have never been from a standing start get beaten from a 2,000 metre stand because they draw in the second row. I know he's good enough to run in the size stakes. I think he ran 5th in the size stakes. So he's up to the best 3-year-olds. But hey, if you got $2, I would take that. You won't. But if you got that, maybe you could spec him at that price.
Okay, race 8's the main handicap pace of the night, and Tango Tara was really unlucky last week after drawing well on a mobile. Just got shuffled back. It was one of those niggly races won by Spirit of St. Louis. I think he's a pretty good horse. He's off a 10-metre handicap on Friday night, but I actually don't think it's too bad. I actually think he'll step away. He's got lots of experience doing that, and he might be able to get handier than that suggests. But these handicap 2,600-metre races, Craig, they've been hard to find the winners of, unless you have a dominant, good 3-year-old coming back. And a lot of it tends to depend on who gets the right one.
Yeah, I think with Tango Tara, his manners have been impeccable. I mean, when he was beaten in that race by Nandolo, he stepped and he led. So the standing start isn't an issue. 10 metres, that doesn't worry me too much. I know he got beaten by Spirit of St. Louis last week, but I think he was a bit of a victim. He got back and pushed out of a gap, and then he really got to the line nicely. So I think he's your clear top tickets. Again, at what price? One that interests me at longer odds, Michael, a horse called Cheezel with our good friend Cassie Fahey. This one, Barrier 1, Regan Todd. Best sectionals out of its race, best mile and half last week, and a very quickly run last half, ran him in 55.7. I thought Cheezel, if you're looking for something at double figure odds, Tim Williams may be one to include.
Okay, when you're looking at tonight's program at Addington on a Friday, what's the 1 or 2 horses you're thinking to yourself, I want to be on this, and, if you can, an indication of what odds you would take?
Well, I think Aqua Sancta looks one that I think a really made favourite, Michael, that I'd be quite happy to jump on. And in the case of Italian Lad, you've got the standing start worry, getting around a big field. Aqua Sancta is also coming out of the Sire Stakes, and he's also drawn Barrier 1 this week from a mobile and really should be holding up from the inside here. So he'll be short. He's also had a run at the workouts, Michael. He beat Italian Lad at Ashburton during the week, so he's pretty much ready to go. Barrier 1, race 9 looks one of the best. And I like Seamark in the last. I thought a really good run first up. Got beaten by William Wallace. So I think it's a very good horse from the Kerr team. He'll improve a lot, the son of Christian Cullen. He's Barrier 3, and he's also got good gate speed. So I like them to be on the speed over the 1980. Gee, it's a place to be in the last 3 or 4 weeks. If you've got gate speed over a short distance and you're planted on the speed, 9 times out of 10, you're in the money.
Craig, it's going to be a fun night at Addington tonight to see just how dominant the Blue Army come back. That's Addington kicking off tonight just before 5 o'clock. Mate, I'll talk to you on Sunday as we preview the Sunday afternoon card.